Welcome to the deep dive. We're tackling a question a lot of you probably wrestle with.
Right.
Finding the actual cheapest annual VPS hosting for your domain.
Right.
Forget those super low prices you see right up front.
Mm-hmm.
Our dive into the data shows there's way more to it.
Yeah, exactly. We're asking, what does cheapest really mean for annual VPS hosting? It's definitely not just about that first price tag you spot.
Those introductory offers, they can be pretty deceptive, can't they?
Oh, absolutely.
You see these deals, Ionos, $24 a year. ClawCloud has a promo like $12.60.
Mm-hmm.
Racknerd's down year $11 sometimes. Green Cloud VPS around $15. It's tempting.
Super tempting. But here's the catch, right? These rock bottom prices often jump a lot on renewal.
That's the renewal shock people talk about.
Exactly. And some providers, like Racknerd and Green Cloud VPS with those promos, their general terms don't always spell out the renewal price super clearly.
So you kind of get hooked.
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, an interesting one is ClawCloud. They actually advertise some deals as recurring or even lifetime recurring discount.
Okay, like that $12.60 deal. Recurring.
Yeah. Now, if they legally guarantee that low price sticks around every year in their official terms of service, well, that could be a genuine long-term bargain.
A recurring discount should mean it applies every year you renew, not just the first time.
In theory, yes. But because that price is so incredibly low, you'd really, really need to check their official contract. Make sure it's properly locked in.
And their FAQ on refunds doesn't cover the promo renewals, right?
Doesn't clarify that specific point, no. So caution is needed there.
Right. Okay, so putting price aside for a second.
Yeah.
What specs do you actually need for a basic website? Say WordPress, maybe a control panel. You don't want it crawling.
Good question. RAM is crucial. That's your server's working memory. Too little and everything just slows down.
So what's the minimum? Some are really low, like 512 meg will be.
Yeah, DigitalOcean's 4-month plan starts there. But honestly, for decent performance, especially with WordPress, aim for at least 1 GB of RAM. It's a much more practical minimum.
And many of the cheapest annual ones we mentioned actually offer that.
Yep.
Ionos, ClawCloud.
Yeah, Ionos, ClawCloud, Racknerd, their low annual tiers often hit that 1 GB mark storage. Usually 10, 20 GB is fine for starters.
Bandwidth.
Often pretty generous, like 500 GB or a terabyte. Ionos even says unlimited, which is interesting.
But the main point is skimping on RAM to save a few bucks
can lead to a really frustratingly slow site, which kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? You lose visitors, might need to upgrade anyway. False economy.
Okay, gotcha. So what basic features should you expect even with these budget options? And what's usually extra?
Well, the basics are almost always there. Root access full control, basically. Choice of Linux OS, an IPv4 address, maybe IPv6 too.
Standard stuff.
Yeah. But then features vary. DDoS protection, that's for fighting off malicious traffic, sometimes included. Ionos mentions it. Contabo, ClawCloud, Racknerd too, I think.
Ionos also throws in free SSL, right? And that plus control panel.
Correct. Free SSL for security and their free Plesk Web Host Edition. That's a user-friendly control panel, which is a nice bonus, assuming it's the full usable version.
What do you usually not get?
Managed services, where they handle the tech stuff for you. Usually no. Comprehensive automated backups are often extra. Ionos has cloud backup, but it costs. DigitalOcean charges a percentage. Premium support, probably not.
So it's bare bones mostly. Add-ons cost more.
Pretty much, you get the server, you manage it.
So pulling it all together from this deep dive, who looks like a decent contender for cheap and usable?
Okay, Ionos VPS Access at $24 a year seems pretty strong. Predictable cost includes Plesk, unlimited traffic, SSL. That's good value.
If that Plesk version is solid.
Right, then ClawCloud. It could be the absolute cheapest long-term if that recurring discount is legally binding and verifiable in their 2S. User reviews are a bit mixed, though, something to check.
And Racknerd, Green Cloud VPS.
Great intro prices, definitely eye-catching, but you got to be wary of higher renewal rates unless they explicitly confirm otherwise somewhere official.
DigitalOcean.
Transparent monthly pricing, which is good, but that entry plan is low on RAM. And no control panel included. Adds up if you need those.
So the big takeaway here, cheapest VPS. It's way more than just that first number you see.
Absolutely. You've got to dig into those renewal terms. Check the resources RAM especially. See what's really included, what costs extra.
And provider reliability matters too.
Hugely. So it really comes down to you doing your homework. Verify renewals, confirm software details, understand bandwidth limits, figure out backups.
Read user reviews, check server locations maybe.
Yeah, all of that. Because ask yourself this, What's the point of saving, say, $10 a year if your site is slow or offline sometimes, or you get hit with unexpected charges?
Exactly. Which leads to our final thought for you. The truly cheapest option isn't just the lowest number on an ad today.
No, it's the one that gives you sustainable value, meets your actual needs reliably, month after month, year after year, without those hidden costs or performance headaches.
So go explore, but keep that long-term value in mind.